Welcome back to Butterfly Effect Tarot. My name is Lorraine, and today's topic is what would you find attractive about yourself if you were a stranger? There are three piles, and the timestamps for each pile is going to be in the description box and the comment section below. If the readings resonate, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you like, you can let me know in the comments. Currently, right now, I do have private personal readings available, and the details for that will be in the description box below. And I would like to send a thank you to all of my subscribers, returning viewers as well. And for newer viewers, if you're interested after this video, you can return to my channel for other videos, other topics, and other readings. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into each one of your messages. Welcome to your reading pile one regarding what would you find attractive about yourself if you were a stranger. So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. I'm going to identify the cards that came out and then we'll get into the message. So the first card out for you is the Two of Cups. It's followed by the Death card, which is followed by the Queen of Pentacles. And then we have the Ten of Cups, and the final card out is the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck energy is the Page of Wands. So as a stranger, you would find quite a few different elements and qualities about yourself attractive. So first and foremost, you would see yourself, whether you're male or female, with this Queen of Pentacles energy, you would view yourself as someone that's physically attractive, someone that is very classy, very confident, very elegant, very sophisticated. Okay, someone there's like a sensual element about you. Maybe the way you walk is very sensual. Maybe your style of dress is elegant and classy, but also it's something sensual. Like maybe your clothes are form fitting. They show off your shape, but you're still covered up, right? Not showing too much, but the way you dress, it definitely leaves quite a bit to the imagination. And you'd see that as very attractive. Maybe you smell nice, okay? Because of the Queen of Pentacles, again, is about the senses. She loves the finer things in life. That includes perfumes, nice smells, the way she looks, the way she presents herself, the way you speak. There could be like a sensual, soft kind of pleasant way about your voice, your tone, the way that you enunciate your words. Your aura and energy could be, again, very sophisticated and refined. I do still get that there may be an element of assertiveness about you because the Page of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, which is usually like a free spirited energy, someone who is assertive and who just enjoys life and excitement, right? Someone who kind of just trusts in life and kind of is just willing to explore and learn, like a student of life. So I feel like while you may be sensual and classy and sophisticated, there could be an element about you that is assertive and fiery and passionate and intense, but it's not necessarily overwhelming, right? I don't feel like it's overwhelming. I feel like it's like a beautiful undertone to your energy, to your aura, right? So for example, like I said earlier, the way you walk could be very sensual. The way you talk could be very sensual. The way you dress could be very sensual. But also there could be an element of seductive, right? An element of sex appeal, an element of the right zest, right? The right level of fire and intensity about your presence. And it's not overwhelming. It's not in your face, right? So you could be someone that is very much operate from a feminine energy, a very peaceful, harmonious energy, but there's a side of you that could be very much more of a Wands energy, very fiery, very straightforward, very direct. And that energy is something that maybe it may not be apparent right away, but after watching you or observing you, it could, become noticeable. This is a beautiful balance. With the Two of Cups and the Death card, this would also suggest that you would view yourself as someone who is not willing to put up with nonsense, because the Two of Cups is a card of partnerships, romantic and platonic. But with the Death card, this is an ending to something, right? This is walking away from something and just ending it altogether. So this would suggest that the level of confidence that you exude, you'd view yourself as someone and be able to see that this is someone who is not willing to stay in a connection or in a work environment or anything that is not giving as much to them as they're giving to it. So you are, and then also someone who transforms, right? Maybe they, somehow you would maybe know or see that you are someone who draws your energy and pulls your energy back from situations and connections and refocuses on yourself. But there's a strong element of confidence here. There's a strong element of having a lot of self-worth and high value. So you would view yourself as like a high valued woman or high valued man, someone who would be the ideal partner, the ideal parent, someone who that would be able to create a happy, harmonious, loving, balanced home. Because the Ten of Cups comes out after the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups is about family. It's about a stable, happy, joyous foundation. It's about a loving environment. So again, you would also view yourself like the Queen of Pentacles energy, male or female, doesn't matter. You would view yourself as someone very loving, very warm, very nurturing, someone who has a beautiful balance of equal give and take, someone who takes care of themselves, they're independent, they can provide for themselves, but also you're very capable, or you do provide for other people and pour into other people with your love and nurturing and attentive energy. So a very selfless person, someone who doesn't just consider themselves, but someone who considers the people that rely on them. So again, you view yourself as very dependable, very responsible, very hardworking, very focused, very diligent. You would view yourself as very attractive. I also think with the Ten of Cups coming out, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune at the end. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of destiny, good karma. It's a card of inevitable fate, right? So I do feel like maybe you would view yourself as someone who is fated and destined to have a Ten of Cups, someone who is fated and destined to be a spouse and or a parent. For those of you who are already parents, you view yourself as someone who is a great parent. If you're already in a marriage, you would view yourself as someone who is like the ideal spouse. The way that you take care of others with your love, your nurturing, your resources, the way that you are, you take care of yourself, you look nice, you smell nice, you present the best version of yourself. You show up in the best energy. You're classy, you're sophisticated, you have a lot of respect for yourself. And something about your energy may attract automatic respect from others. A very high valued individual, you would find yourself as extremely attractive, as being like a kind of a mix of everything, a very well rounded person. Also, I am getting the vibe here that you would view yourself as someone, like I mentioned earlier, you walk away from connection situations that don't serve you, an energy of someone who just is not willing to take, less than what they deserve. This would also suggest that maybe you view yourself as someone who is patiently waiting for the right partner, someone who is fine on their own, someone who's independent and who takes care of themselves. They provide for themselves and those that depend on them. But again, someone that is patiently waiting for the right offer, the right connection, that will provide them with the Ten of Cups. So, like I said earlier, with this Two of Cups and Death, if other partnerships or connections that you're willing to invest in, that you're willing to open yourself up to, are not bearing the type of fruit that you desire for them to bear, you move away and you stand in your power. You wait. With the Page of Wands, a free spirited. So you could be viewed as someone, you may view yourself as someone that's like an eligible bachelor or an eligible bachelorette. But again, like I said earlier, someone who's destined for partnership, someone who's destined to have this beautiful relationship and family dynamic. Because again, someone you appear, and as a stranger, you see yourself as someone that appears to be the ideal family man or family woman. You're not just someone who is selfish. You're not someone who is selfish. You are someone who has a beautiful balance of material focus on your dreams, your goals, your success, your money, and even on your spiritual growth with this death energy, the death card here, but also someone that is equally emotionally stable, equally nurturing, equally giving. So you would probably view yourself as someone who cooks, who cleans, you take care of, you would take care of your children, you take care of your spouse, you would work, you would help take care of the bills. Like you show up in every single area, you check off every single box. So maybe as a stranger, you would be attracted to yourself, right? You would be attracted to yourself, obviously, because this is the topic. But what I mean is, you would, as a stranger, you would want to pursue you. You would want to date yourself, I guess is the best way to put it. You would want to, see yourself maybe as having a family with yourself if you were a stranger. And I know the wording is a little funny because of the topic we're using, but yeah, you would want to date yourself. If you were a stranger, you would perhaps see yourself as wanting to marry yourself, or you maybe see yourself as being able to have a family with you, whether you're male or female. This is, as a stranger, you would see yourself as someone that you would desire or be or want to or be willing to marry, to have a home with, to create a 10 of cups with, someone that you would want to you invest in. So yeah, you would see yourself as very attractive, very well rounded, like the ideal man or the ideal woman, someone that's very trustworthy, someone that's very responsible, very loving, very calm. But again, with the Page of Wands, someone that's very assertive, someone that speaks up, someone that is driven and very goal oriented, but you still make time to love on the people around you. You still make time to nurture and love on yourself. You still make time to focus on your spiritual growth, your mental and emotional development, not just your money, not just work, not just material things. There's a beautiful duality to you of masculine and feminine, but perhaps you're someone that may operate more out of your feminine energy, even, but again, Queen of Pentacles is a provider. So you still may be someone though that has a more feminine element about you. Like you seem more soft and gentle and approachable. But with that Page of Wands, there is still again that undertone of no nonsense, that undertone of you can show up in a masculine energy if necessary. And I like this energy a lot. I like it a lot. You would also maybe see yourself as someone that has a lot of good luck, someone that's very lucky with this Wheel of Fortune. And again, that could be because you would view yourself as having all these amazing qualities, all these attractive elements, having this success, having the money, the wealth, and all of this. You may see yourself as someone who is lucky. So some of you could be like business owners. Some of you may have like high paying corporate jobs, or some of you may be very creative and you make money from creative endeavors. If you're not someone who has a 9 to 5, or you have like this career or this business, then this could suggest that you would view yourself as someone that just knows how to make ends meet, someone that's very stable, someone that knows how to provide for themselves and those that depend on them. Like maybe you see yourself as someone that has a Midas touch, like maybe everything you touch turns to gold, which would make sense because with the Queen of Pentacles, she's only willing to invest in what she's willing to see all the way through, what she sees as something she can water and it would grow into something beautiful and abundant. So essentially, you're someone who, again, like I mentioned earlier, if I haven't mentioned it, then you're someone who's very meticulous and cautious about who and what you invest your time into. So again, like I mentioned, very reserved and to yourself, maybe. And you could be very friendly and even very outgoing with this Page of Wands, maybe an ambivert, but you are still someone who kind of maybe prefers to keep your energy to yourself and only maybe open your true nurturing element and the kind and generous aspect of you. Oh, you only willing to open it up to things and people that you know will benefit from what you're pouring into them. They will benefit and utilize the love, the nurturing, and the resources that you give them. They will utilize it with the best intentions, and they would make beautiful, you know, beautiful progress and success out of that. Not someone that likes to have their time wasted. Time is money. So you see yourself as like a boss, boss lady, boss guy type of energy. Someone, again, who is very confident, very independent, very sultry, sensual, seductive, but very loving and nurturing. You would maybe see yourself as like a lady in the streets, or like a man in the streets, but like a freak in the sheets type of energy, right? Like someone that shows himself as very classy and sophisticated, but in the bedroom you could be like, this Page of Wands, this Wands energy, like the King or Queen of Wands element maybe comes out, and maybe at first glance that may not be apparent, right? Maybe at first glance, because you may come across as elegant, classy, and sophisticated, that element of freaky, intense, passionate dynamic of you is not something that people would naturally guess right away. But then perhaps again, with that undertone of observing you, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, and your energy, there's that element of suggesting that in the bedroom, yes, you you show up a little different or a lot different. And that would be very attractive to you as a stranger. But I am going to leave your reading there. If it resonated, please feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you don't mind. And if you're interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you. Welcome to your reading pile 2 regarding what would you find attractive about yourself if you were a stranger. So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. I'm going to identify the cards that came out for you, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the message. So the first card out is the Knight of Pentacles. It's followed by the Three of Pentacles, which is followed by the Star card. And then we have the Sun. And the final card out is the Eight of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy is the Ace of Swords. So for you, there are quite a few energies. Overall, though, you would view yourself as someone that is very focused on success, very focused on business, someone that's very kind of tapped into building up a business, building wealth, building your material and success up. Someone that's very positive and warm, someone that is willing to, be a team player, right? Because with the Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who is hardworking, diligent, someone who is investing and taking action to build and grow something specifically related to their money and success. And then you have the Three of Pentacles, which is a card of working with others to build up, this career. So you're someone who would also maybe see yourself as a leader, right? The leader of a team or the leader or the head of a business, someone that's like a boss. Because I feel like you would view yourself as someone who has all the answers, right? Someone that everyone comes to for the answers. Like you have a way of knowing how to find resources or find ways through. I only say that because we have the Eight of Swords at the bottom, which is usually a card of restriction, restraint, not being able to see clearly. In the card, she's blindfolded and she has no hope, she has no faith, she has a lot of fear and anxiety because she doesn't know which way to go. Whereas the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck is literally having a card of clarity, literally having clear insight, literally being determined and knowing which way to go and having ideas and plans and knowing how to push forward. And then you have the Star card and the Sun card. The Sun card is also a card of clear thinking. It's a card of trusting. It's a card of success and rebirth. It's a card of positivity and joy, optimism. The Star card is another card of optimism, hope. Yeah, you would view yourself and find it very attractive how positive you are, how maybe friendly you are, how you are able and willing to work with others to build up to something. You're able to be a leader, but also a team player. So maybe like somebody who's a leader, but like a humble leader, somebody that is the head and the one that's in control and in charge, but also someone that feels like a mutual coworker, right? Like the way you work with others is very equal, even when you're the one in charge. So you don't have a sense of ego, right? You don't have this energy of being overbearing or bossy or controlling. You're fair. You're probably someone who loves to speak joy and love and positivity into others. Because with the Sun card coming out and the Star card and the Eight of Swords, this could suggest that maybe you view yourself as someone who comes across as liking to kind of help other people see the positive aspects of things, right? And perhaps for example, you could also be someone that has an energy where you give off even if you find yourself in an Eight of Swords where you can't see clearly or you have your own anxieties or a stagnated energy, you push forward really quickly. Like you're able to re-inspire yourself and you're able to inspire others. A very inspirational energy. I'm also getting that you would view yourself as someone that stands out, right? Because the Star card is the star, right? And the star gives celebrity, but it also is like the star in the sky. So when the sky is very dark, but you can't miss the star, no matter how far away it is, no matter how small the star may be, it stands out. And then you have the Sun card, and the Sun card is the brightest light, the brightest star in the sky. Yeah, you would more than likely view yourself as someone who is like this guiding light, like this light in the dark type of energy, like someone who again can lead others. You can find your way through any challenge. You're very resourceful, very trusting, very trustworthy. Someone that can, overcome obstacles and find your way to success. You would definitely see yourself as a boss. Like you would find that very attractive about yourself. Someone very patient too. I feel like your patience would be very attractive. You could have like a stoic or a laid back type of energy, like somebody that is just kind of chill and easygoing, someone that is kind of, focused and determined to overcome success, but also at ease. And I think that you would also find that laid back kind of trusting in life and just putting in the work and not really stressing about the results. You would find that very attractive about yourself. The way that you are able to just vibe, but still you're very serious about working, but you also have like this just kind of vibe and energy about you. Like is this is a very kind of like even the energy I'm getting from this is kind of fun, loving, but it's like serious and focused. Like I think there's a beautiful balance here where you would view yourself as someone who is about business, but you know how to chill out. You know how to relax. You know how to just enjoy life and see the beauty in things. I feel like also you view yourself as someone who can find the brighter side of situations. Because with the Eight of Swords, this is a card of, again, not being able to see clearly. It's a darker energy, it's having clouded judgment and fear and anxiety. But then it's coming out with the Sun card, and the Sun card is having clear thinking and seeing brightness and the positive energy. So, yeah, I feel like you see the brighter side of things. Even when things may be dampened, you're someone who may be able to kind of look for a silver lining, and in doing so and having that positivity and being able to find the silver lining in something with this Ace of Swords at the bottom, it's how you're able to find clarity and to help other people find clarity by focusing on the positive or focusing on what does work instead of focusing on what doesn't. So I feel like you would find that sense of direction, that hardworking, stern but easygoing energy. I feel like you'd find that very attractive about yourself based on this energy, based on these cards. You would find your it's like an authoritative energy here, like this boss leader energy would be very attractive, to you as a stranger. But it's the simple fact that you have so much power in you, so much authority, so much um bright, sunny, powerful energy about you, but you're still very down to earth. You're still very laid back and easygoing, but very determined and very focused on your success. Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, you would definitely see yourself as someone who stands out. Even in situations where you're not the leader of the dynamic or group, or you're not the boss, your energy gives that you're the boss. Someone else in the group could be like, the person in charge, but your energy feels like you're the one in charge, right? For example, if you're on a team or you're working with a group of people and someone else is, been put in place to lead everyone, it's like everyone comes to you instead of the other person that's supposed to be in charge. It's like people come to you for the answers, or you're the one who actually is the one that takes on the role of leader without actually being named the leader. You take initiative. That's the best term to use. You have a lot of initiative. You're someone that you take action, but you're very patient and you're very cautious, hardworking and focused, but you're very meticulous about how you direct your energy. You always make sure that the decisions and the direction you're going in is the right one. So I do feel like you would view yourself as someone on the right path, someone that knows what they want in life and that goes after it with a lot of positivity. And again, even if you find yourself in this Eight of Swords where you have moments of anxiety, fear, where you can't see clearly, with this star and this sun energy and this Ace of Swords at the bottom, you give a vibe of someone that knows how to pull themselves out of a dark place. It's also a bit of balance. So maybe you could come across as a realist, somebody very positive, very trusting in life, and very focused, but also someone who is able to know when things are not going to work, but also know when to find a way to make them work. But yeah, this is such a sunny energy. The vibe of this is just very warm and like trusting. Like maybe you're someone where they view you like they'd probably view you as someone that they would want to work with, right? You try to view yourself, right? I'm saying you would more than likely view yourself as someone that you would want to work with, someone you would want to build with. You see yourself as someone that you would want to trust, that you would want to have on your team. You'd see yourself as someone where you would want to be on your team. You're someone that you would want to be side by side with because you'd view yourself as someone who is going to for sure lead everyone to abundance, going to lead everyone to success, going to know how to invest, how to plan, how to initiate, how to take action, when to hold back. Like you would have all the answers and you would, your energy is so trusting that you would view yourself and find it very attractive that you have such a trusting nature, especially in this day and age where that's not easy. But something about your energy, you would see yourself as very trustworthy, very solid, very dependable, somebody that would make a great friend, a great business partner, even a great spouse. Like you're strong and you have all this authority and power, and it's so attractive, but you're still approachable, you're still humble, you're still easygoing and fun. Like I said earlier, you know how to be about business, but you also know how to just relax and allow and trust in life and enjoy life. And that's not an easy balance to have. So maybe you are a manifester, right? Because this energy is kind of given like someone who will be able to manifest. Maybe that's why you have so much trust and faith because you know that you have the power to manifest stuff. Like the magician card didn't come out, but this is kind of given like magician energy to me, especially with this star card and this sun card and ace of swords. Yeah, someone that knows what they want and they know that it's theirs. They know that all they have to do is put in the work. But yeah, you're kind of given like a people person, like someone that others, desire to work with. People want to be on your team or they want you on their team. People come to you for guidance. You're like a guiding light of sorts, especially when it comes to business matters and material financial matters. A very goal oriented. I think, yeah, you would find that very attractive about yourself. Somebody that's about business. But again, somebody you can joke and laugh with. Very inspiring. I feel like you would view yourself as someone who is fun loving, someone who knows how to have a good time in a beautiful way. And you could be very attractive. I'm going to say that because we have the star card out here, again, the star, but we also have the sun energy, and the sun is usually very bright and beautiful. The stars are very beautiful, and that's why they stand out. So maybe you're also very attractive. But again, even if you would view yourself as very attractive, I feel like your attractiveness would not be your main, priority, or it would not be something that you would focus a lot on. It's like you would be this attractive energy, but your energy would be more focused on wanting to be known for or wanting to put forth the energy of somebody in charge, somebody that knows what they know, somebody that's positive and loving. It's like you would put your moral compass and your hardworking goals ahead of your looks, but you would still probably, yeah, you probably see yourself as very attractive, which is probably why you stand out. And maybe that would be you seeing yourself as someone that has this authority, has this energy, has this, sense of direction, this very successfully driven person, this positive, easygoing person with all this power in them. And you're attractive, but you're still humble. Yeah, this is such a beautiful energy. You would find yourself very attractive, but you would be more, it's like your energy, you'd be more attracted to the essence of who you are, your personality. It's like you're attractive, but your personality and the authority about you, the power of your energy is what would draw you in the most if you were a stranger. Like somebody that you want to be around, somebody that knows how to turn your dark days to light. Again, like the star and the sun, you bring light. You're like a guiding light. You're like the light amidst the dark. Like people come to you when they need their spirits uplifted. This, like, you would probably view yourself as a stranger to someone again that would want to work with you. You want to work with yourself. You'd want to be friends with you because the energy is so attractive that you would, find yourself. It's almost like if you have somebody in this Eight of Swords energy, for example, who can't see clearly, they have, a lot of anxiety about life, they don't trust life, they have no dreams, no goals. You're the person that, you'd view yourself as a person that you would go to if you want to be inspired, if you want someone to help you see clearly, if you want someone to reinvigorate your energy and help you find your sense of purpose, because you're coming through as someone with a lot of purpose, and you know you know your purpose, but you're also seeming like somebody that knows how to help other people find their purpose and help to re-inspire and reawaken other people's light. Like the energy of the cards is so mild in a way, I guess. Like the energy seems mild, but it's so powerful. It's like your energy and your presence kind of speaks for itself. You're someone who you allow your success to speak for itself. Yeah, this energy is really attractive because I'm kind of like as I'm looking at the cards, and it's like they're just drawing me in. And there's no wands energy out here. So there's no like no card that's necessarily magnetic. But like I said, the sun and the star alone is probably what's drawing me in because they're so bright. Yeah, you're a light. You are a light. You're maybe the energy. You'd view yourself and find it attractive that you are so positive, so trusting, so trustworthy, so kind and generous, so patient. Someone that's very loyal and dependable, somebody that's powerful and authoritative, but again, somebody that is very fun loving, like a trusted leader, right? Somebody that you come to when you need, a little light in your life. Somebody that you know is going to help you to see the silver lining. Somebody's going to help you to find with that Ace of Swords a sense of direction. You could be someone with a lot of great ideas. But yeah, you view yourself as very attractive. What you find attractive about yourself is your energy, your personality, your appearance, your power, your authority, the sense of direction you have, the beautiful balance of focus, stoic, determined power, and focus on your direction and your goals, but someone that knows how to just sit back and enjoy a nice conversation, a nice laugh. Not maybe someone who takes themselves serious, but at the same time, you have moments where you don't take yourself so serious and you just want to just enjoy life and bask in the sun and the beauty. So perhaps someone who has success and is, pursuing and achieving success, but also someone who knows how to enjoy the fruits of your labor, somebody who just knows how to sit back and take time to just be at peace. So you could also be a bit spiritual, especially with this star card and this sun card. You could be very spiritual, or you could have a certain element of spiritual energy about you. And maybe that is why there's so much bright energy here, because you're maybe someone that's transformed throughout your life. Or maybe you were in this Eight of Swords at one point and you had to transform, and then that's how you became this kind of star and sun energy and this Ace of Swords dynamic of having clarity because you've overcome so much, perhaps, that now you have made it a practice to always look at the brighter side of light and always operate in an energy of abundance. And so, yeah, you also find it attractive, your abundance, your success. But again, it's your power. You would be very attracted to your power. There's this energy is feeling so. This is feeling like a boss, but like the type of boss that you talk and joke and laugh with. As for example, if you were like a landlord and your business was that you owned a lot of properties and you rented them out, residential properties, and you rented them out. Like maybe this is giving an energy where your tenants would love you. You'd be very compassionate and patient and kind, very understanding, but also able to assert yourself and still operate in an energy of being the landlord, being the one that is, over your tenants and their lease, right? Not over them in like a ego way, but like you're the one who is the boss still. You're the one who is in control of these buildings, in control of, making sure you make your money, making sure that, this business is going appropriately with your residents. But you still are a generous and patient person. You still, would be understanding if you had a tenant that was having a hard time, and you'd be willing to work with them. So somebody that's just very helpful, very accommodating, you would find that very attractive about yourself. Mm, yeah. But I am going to leave it there. If it did resonate, please feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. And if interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you. Welcome to your reading pile 3 regarding what would you find attractive about yourself if you were a stranger. So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify the cards that came out and then we're going to go ahead and get into the message. So the first card out for you is the Queen of Wands. It's followed by the Page of Wands, which is followed by the Seven of Swords. And then we have the Fool card. And the final card out is the Three of Wands. Bottom of the deck energy is the Three of Cups. So there are quite a few different qualities and traits about yourself that you would find attractive if you were a stranger. The main trait that's coming up, the main quality is your aura, your allure. With the Queen of Wands and Page of Wands coming out, this would suggest that as a stranger, you would view yourself as someone that is very physically attractive, very sexy, very alluring, very tempting, enticing. Whether you're male or female, this is giving a very seductress type of vibe. Your energy feels very almost aloof. Like there could be an element of mystery about you because your energy is so fast moving. Perhaps this would suggest that maybe the vibe you'd pick up from yourself as a stranger is someone who's like a bad girl, bad guy type of energy, someone who is almost off limits or even out of your league. Like if you were a stranger viewing yourself, someone that is, too hot to handle kind of energy, because the energy out here would suggest, even if this is not something that you identify with personally, this is, as a stranger, this is how you would view yourself. So someone who is very appealing, someone who's very magnetic, you would have an energy of someone that's very dominant, very powerful, very intense, very passionate, someone who is very exciting, someone who is constantly on the move. Because with all this Wands energy, this would suggest that you're someone who enjoys adventure. You're someone who has a lot of goals and dreams, and you would also appear to be someone who tends to move fast and head first towards your goals. So perhaps you would give off the vibe of someone who doesn't have a lot of fears or a lot of anxieties, because we have the Queen of Wands and Page of Wands, which again is an element of fast moving energy, not really being concerned with obstacles, only really concerned with actually achieving what you set out to do. And trusting that you'll have, whatever you seek out is what you'll get, because we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Fool card. And that card is also followed by the Three of Wands. Now, the Seven of Swords is a card of being cunning and clever and deceptive. However, in this case, since it's followed by the Fool card, which is a card of moving with pure action, and it's also a card of air of innocence, someone who kind of just goes through life and they enjoy the journey and they trust that what they desire will come to them. So with the Seven of Swords coming out with that card, that would just suggest that as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who likes to take risk, or someone who's willing to take risk to get what you want. Because the Three of Wands, which comes out at the end, is a card of opportunities. It's a card of travel. It's a card of seeking out to set on a journey to fulfill your goals. And with the Three of Cups at the bottom, this would suggest that you are also someone who is more than likely successful, or at least as a stranger, this is how you view yourself, someone who kind of throws caution to the wind and just goes after what they want and they find success in it, because the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. This could also suggest that you are someone who would give the energy of being very fun, like the life of the party. Because the Three of Cups is a card of community, it's a card of celebration, it's a card of, partying or just hanging out and having a good time. So you could perhaps also would maybe perceive yourself as being in a very extroverted energy, someone who likes to explore and seek out exciting ventures, someone who is very passionate about life, especially with the Page of Wands being a free spirited energy. This again would suggest that you would view yourself and be attracted to that free spirited energy, someone who kind of just flows through life. It's kind of given the vibe of like almost like a hippie vibe in a way, but like a very attractive, sexy hippie type of energy. It's definitely given that you would be intensely attracted to yourself if you were a stranger viewing yourself. You'd be extremely attracted because with the Queen of Wands, this is a very almost intimidating energy, but it's, I guess, because the element of playfulness is also out here, suggesting that you're also very lighthearted and easygoing. I think this would kind of make you a little approachable, but your energy with this Queen of Wands, Page of Wands would still be overwhelmingly intense. So you would be someone who your presence is very much felt, even without you speaking, even without you having to really do anything. Your aura, your energy, it just commands attention. So perhaps you're someone, where you're, as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who tends to get a lot of stares, right? Not because you're doing anything or saying anything, but your energy is so magnetic, you're so attractive, and your aura is so appealing that it kind of draws attention to you. Okay, so and again, that could explain why you would be viewed as, as a stranger, viewing yourself as someone who would be the life of the party. Again, this is a very intense energy. So perhaps as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who would be very good in the bedroom. This the Queen of Wands, Page of Wands energy. Wands energy is very fiery, as I mentioned, very passionate, very intense. It's also a very deep energy, something that, and it's, ironically enough, this is also suggesting you would view yourself as someone who could love very passionately, love very intensely, very overwhelmingly. However, it would also suggest that perhaps you're someone that as fast as you fall in love, as deeply and as intensely as you fall in love, you're also off, right? Like you'll leave, you move on to the next person. So it's kind of given heartbreaker energy, kind of like a bachelor, bachelorette type of vibe, but the kind of bachelor and bachelorette that does not intend to really settle down. Someone who is just exploring life, someone who likes to travel, someone who likes to chase their goals, someone who is a boss, so someone who maybe owns a couple of businesses. As a stranger, you would just view yourself as very successful, very powerful, and someone who doesn't really need anyone, right? And this could, again, this could also reconfirm you seeing yourself as being very intimidating, because maybe as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who is very well desirable and very much sought after and very much wanted, but perhaps someone who maybe the people who desire you don't know what they could bring to the table. And perhaps as a stranger, you would view yourself this way. As I mentioned earlier, too hot to handle. Maybe someone that is hard to keep, hard to pin down because you're a free spirit. You like to explore. You don't like to really sit in one place for too long or focus too much time and energy on just one thing. So you could be someone who enjoys dating, right? Perhaps again, as a stranger viewing yourself, you would see this energy or you would assume this energy because, like I said earlier, this does not have to necessarily resonate with who you actually are. But as a stranger, this is how they will perceive you. And as I mentioned earlier, with this energy, this is a very mysterious vibe. So you're someone who, as a stranger, you view yourself as someone who is easy to fall in love with, like deeply, passionately in love with. However, I'm getting the vibe that that's because maybe you have a way, or you would perceive yourself as someone who has a way of digging deep into the core and the soul of other people. Maybe you have a way of bringing the vulnerability out of people. And as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who doesn't allow others to get close. Like you like to get to the core of people, but maybe you give the element of someone who kind of keeps things surface level when it comes to yourself. And that, again, could reconfirm you viewing yourself as a heartbreaker because you are able to get people to fall madly, deeply, passionately in love with you. And even if you do have feelings for them too, you keep yourself guarded, right? It's like people know of you, but maybe there are not a lot of people who truly get to know you, the vulnerable part of you. Because again, as a stranger viewing yourself from the outside, you would see yourself as someone who doesn't stay in a situation or a circumstance or connection for very long, or at least long enough for people to really get to truly know you at your core. This is a very this is just an exciting energy. Even though it's like daring, right? Like as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone very brave, very bold, very courageous, very outspoken. Perhaps you view yourself as very blunt. These are all qualities that you would find attractive about yourself. It's kind of given a vibe of I don't really give a F, right? Like it's given the vibe of someone who It's like I make my own rules, I do what I want. Not it's not giving the vibe of someone who's conventional. So as a stranger, perhaps you view yourself as someone who is like a trendsetter, someone who marches to the beat of their own drum, someone who does not really care about validation from other people, only really validating yourself, not really focused on what other people think or, how other people view you, really just focused on what is your next adventure, what is your next goal that you need to fulfill, what is something that inspires you, someone that's very focused on their own happiness, their own fulfillment. And these would be traits that you would find attractive about yourself. A one of a kind. And I do feel like as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone where from a stranger perspective, you'd want to explore you. You'd want to experience you in every way. In the bedroom, just going on adventures with you, observing you, watching you, in action as you pursue something, as you talk. You could be someone that, has a very seductive tone to your voice, the way you walk, the way you move, your style. There's a very strong sex appeal here, a very strong allure, very much I kind of want to say vixen because the energy here is so passionate and it's just so easygoing. It's like it's intense, but at the same time, it's like very mellow. I don't want to say mellow. It's like a playful energy, but it's intense at the same time, right? And it's this balance. It's like you're approachable to some degree, but overall, there is still an intimidation about your energy. And again, this does not have to mean that this is innately who you actually are. But as a stranger, you would view yourself as someone who cannot be pinned down, someone who is just enjoying life, living their best life, someone who marches to the beat of their own drum, someone who kind of sets their own rules and standards for their own life. You set your own goals. You're not really concerned with, perhaps marriage. As a stranger, you view yourself as someone who's not really concerned with, living the quote unquote, American dream or just living the whole structured lifestyle. You're just someone who feels like there's a lot to explore in the world. And maybe that is why you don't like to settle down. Or you, as a stranger, you could view yourself as someone who is focused on enjoying life to the fullest before you do settle down. But this energy is not really giving settled type of energy. This energy is giving someone who is an adventurer, someone who is very focused, someone who's very hardworking, very driven, very determined to succeed and to enjoy the journey of life as they succeed through life, as they chase their goals. So as a stranger, you'd be attracted to this energy. As a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who maybe likes to date and keep your options open, not just in relationships, but perhaps also like when it comes to like a business, for example. If you want to open a business, maybe you're someone who would have multiple businesses going at once, right? Someone who has a overwhelming amount of energy and they're able to run in multiple directions at one time very quickly, which is not easy to do. But as a stranger, you view yourself this way, someone who has the capability to achieve anything. And again, as I mentioned earlier, very blunt, someone who could be painfully honest, someone who kind of says what they mean and they mean what they say. And you're not really overly concerned with how people feel about it because your opinion is your opinion. And as a stranger, you may perceive yourself as someone who is very stern in a way, who's someone who stands their ground. So, for example, if someone approached you and they got out of line with you, your energy suggests, to as a stranger that you're someone who would be ready to, get active, right? Not really someone that's going to do a whole lot of talking, someone that's going to just want to go straight into taking it to the street, someone that's just want to go straight into, is either we're going to, fight and get it over with or, because your energy is so fast moving and fiery, it's like you have other things to do. You have better things to do than to sit around and argue with somebody about something. So, it's like, what are you going to do about the situation? If you're not going to do anything action wise, then you're moving along, right? So very much an action oriented person, somebody that walks it, what is it? Walk it like you talk it, like somebody that is not just all mouth. There's action. You put action to your words. You put action to your thoughts. You put action to your dreams. You're not someone that's going to sit around and wait. You're somebody that is very much a go-getter, very much an intense energy. This energy is so it is overwhelming in a way, But again, with this Three of Cups and this Fool card out here is also very it's also very lighthearted. You know, there's an element of lightheartedness. And I think that that could also be why, as a stranger, you view yourself as someone that you would want to explore, you'd want to experience, because it is kind of a mysterious energy. It's like there's so much about you that's going on, and the energy is drawing you in. But it's like the fire, it's almost like the fire of you, the fire and intensity of you is so overwhelming, it's so big, it's so bright, it's so powerful that you can't really see into the core of it. And it's like if you get too close, you there's a fear of being burned, right? There's a fear of being hurt. But even though that element is showing up as a stranger, the inner you would perceive yourself and view yourself as someone that is so attractive, so alluring, and so enticing that you would be willing to take the risk. Like you would see yourself as someone, it's kind of like when you go after the bad girl, the bad guy type of energy, and you know you're going to get your heart broke. You know that this is not the type of energy that you should be allowing yourself to pursue or to be pursued by. But it's so tempting that you can't help it. So as a stranger, you'd view yourself this way, as someone that can't be held down, someone that maybe slips through, your hand like quicksand, someone who, loves them and leads them type of energy. But it's like as a stranger, it wouldn't matter. It's like the thought and the desire to explore you, to experience you would be so intense and so strong that it as a stranger you would want to approach you, you would want to get to know you, you'd want to go and explore you in the bedroom, you'd want to go out on adventures with you, you'd want to make memories with you. Just a very fun loving but exciting type of thrilling energy. This is so intense, and it makes me wonder how much this would actually resonate with you on a core level, like in terms of who you actually are versus how you would view yourself as a stranger who doesn't know you that well. Just observing your movements, your energy, and your interactions, this is how you would perceive yourself. But I wonder how much of this is actually true, right? Because again, we don't always see ourselves the way others see us, and others do not see us the way we see ourselves because we're in our own bodies, we have our own experiences and thoughts, so we know things about ourselves that strangers don't. So I always, with this reading, I'm always, well, since I've been doing the reading, I'm wondering how much of the perspective of you as a stranger actually is resonating with who you actually are. Are you really this bachelor, bachelorette that doesn't want to settle down? Are you this, firecracker, Hellcat type of energy, whether you're male or female, somebody that is just fiery and driven and passionate and who just loves to explore life, the life of the party? This is just so, it's an enigma, really. It's really an intoxicating type of energy, right? This energy is so, it feels intoxicating. And I think as a stranger viewing yourself, that would be, it would be like difficult to maybe pull the energy away. So perhaps as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who kind of grabs people's energy and you hold it without really trying. Like you're someone that's hard to look away from. Maybe people like to, again, watch you in action, watch your movements. Again, there could be a very seductive way about the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you express yourself, the way you move, the way you approach things. And I just feel like that is something that would be very attractive to you as a stranger, right? But yeah, this is a really good energy. You'd be extremely attracted to yourself as a stranger. Whether however you see yourself on a realistic level is one thing, but as a stranger, you would see yourself as like the person that everybody wants, but it's like nobody can really have you, right? So maybe as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who is addictive, right? Where people may be obsessed with you because the energy, again, is so intimidating, but it's also so alluring. And it's like you can never really get to the core of who you are. And, people tend to want what they can't have. And based on this energy, you're giving the vibe to yourself as a stranger that you're someone that others can't have. No one can really actually have you. They can maybe experience you if you'll allow it. But as a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone where no one can really hold on to you and really get to know you and keep you. And that would more than likely heighten the intensity and the desire for you to be with you, to have you. So this is, yeah, it's kind of suggesting that even though you're fiery and passionate, your energy is not giving that you're necessarily a chaser, right? As a stranger, you'd view yourself as someone who others pursue, and it's almost like you kind of move, right? You flee from these people. Even if you interact with them, you're off. You don't really allow people to get to keep you for too long or get to explore you for too long. But yeah, that's very interesting. Again, I wonder how much this perspective from a stranger's view actually resonate with who you actually are. I'm very interested because this energy is so intense and I really like it. But I am going to leave it there. If it resonated, please feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. And if you're interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you.